Tyra talk, and it's got no negative connotations. A couple of things. Before I forget, hold on a second. I'm going to show. Before I forget, as I addressed years ago at Survivor versus Superheroes.com, I think there's dashes between the words. There's a playlist that right now is not available, but that's some of the premises that I came up with 3 years ago. That's actually stuff that I've been thinking about for years about the super crossover. And as I mentioned in there, there's so many fractals and portals, so the idea would be for other authors to come in if they like something. Right now, let's go from Survivor versus Superheroes to The Evolution, which is Model Land cards for other authors. Whether it's an established author or somebody that wants to be an author to come in and spin off, take one, each sees one element with the card that has to do with this character or that idea, you spin it off, you do your own story. Of course, there's the other thing in modeling, which is that with fictional characters some fictional characters being aware of the fact that they're fictional characters. And with what's happening with the internet and model land, and the modeling world where the internet plays a huge part, and the people deciding what happens with the world or their fucking neighborhood or their fucking whatever, So you would have a democratic aspect. You could have Frank Miller or Jane Doe come in and take on the specific part of the narrative, but and ramify from there. But on top of that, you got people with the top choice system through the modeling thing with the top choice system. They might decide what happens with Batman, with Terminator, and so on and so forth. It's democracy. It's all based so that the majority of the stuff that I do with the fiction, as far as the world of the future, leaving aside aliens, which it'll be a deal if the actual Alien franchise comes in, or if we do our own aliens. But leaving aside whether or not the aliens, leaving aside aliens and Star Wars and so on and so forth, which I'd love to all be part of it. But as far as the economics and the politics and the democracy and the real life of the future Earth and or model land and or planets, it has to be compatible with reality. That's why, for example, only fictional characters can engage in time travel, because if you do the science, go to Model Land cards and read some of my stuff about this, but shaman or whatever. But you can, in reality, time travel is absolutely impossible. As I always say, if time travel were possible and you were to come from the future to this moment right now, where would you be at, bitches? So, so the people, anybody that wants to, and we don't have to wait for the top choice system. If you want to get on your social media and you want to start saying what happens to Batman or the Jedis, you go for it. Do check out some of the stuff that if you go to modelandcards.com, look for the crossover reference links and check out some of that stuff if you're into that kind of thing. Now, getting back to this, we're almost done with the pretext portion. Let me tell you a couple of things. I had to come up with the quick costume for the superhero, because I grew up drawing superheroes. That's why I can draw men better than women, and and trying to come up with a style that's it's almost more compatible with the 1930s or 40s comic strip, or maybe golden age, than today's sophisticated illustration. Because I gotta draw quick, I gotta get to the point, and despite the fact that there's hundreds of comic book characters, I had to come up with because I want a muscular superhero character, even though most of the stuff that I've premised about superheroes that I might create that tie into the Model Land thing, or that are tied out of the Model Land thing, I want it to be based on Captain Tyra, mostly female with some transgender team of, and I call them super escorts. That could open up a whole bunch of portals, but so the Captain Tyra, a female superhero with the mostly female team, essential. But I like to draw classic superheroes. So the guy that gets attacked by the uh, alien creature, which is sort of a variation of in the crossover the what I used to call the copyright cockroaches that attacked the Submariner. And it's probably switching away from the copyright cockroaches thing because, as I explained elsewhere, we're all human beings. I used to be totally against copyright, and I am against copyright, but I don't want to demonize the people that are involved with that, although I think that there's some really stupid as well as some evil things that are being done with intellectual property. But I'm moving away from calling them copyright cockroaches, the alien creatures that come in and attacks the Submariner and our superheroes. So I had to come up with a quick costume. I met Jack Kirby in person, in the early 1980s for just a few minutes at a comic signing. And he was talking to me about how some basic, simple stuff, make things recognizable, make a character, give him a big nose, a little big nose, something that stands out. So, for example, with Tyra, with Captain Tyra, or Captain Kyra, I deviated just a touch from the sketch to make her a little bit more recognizable. For example, hold on. I wasn't sure about her right shoulder, and then I had to put it in because it's like you can't even tell that you're looking at this superhero woman in the first panel. In the second panel, she's from the back. You can't even tell that it's her. So I thought, okay, let me do the little thing on the shoulder that might make it a little bit easier. Now I still got to do the pain in the ass. The thing that's left that's a pain in the ass. In addition to that, I used to do hand lettering. I'm gonna have to just put the lettering in by computer for a number of reasons. But the thing that's left now is that I've added the cameras. If you can pick it up, the microphones. I did you could see that from the earlier videos. But now, technically speaking, I would probably need to fill in the people, the reporters that are at this press conference or whatever, and they're asking Captain Tyre or Captain Kyra all these questions. I got the cameras, but I don't really have the people other than the initial outline, so I might have to figure a way to draw that in where semiotically it works, but it's not a pain in the ass too bad for me to draw. And also, what Jack Kirby was saying is like, when I drew to point to what Jack Kirby was saying about making things recognizable. Most of the reason that I did it, those lines across his biceps and triceps, and that line with the particular line that crosses his abs and points up to his chest, and ultimately where it says Max Alt on his chest, is because I wasn't sure if I wanted the character in the last panel to be the same superhero that got attacked by the creature. I was kind of leaning towards that, and then I thought, well, they might think, how did he get up? And, it could be somebody else. But I thought, no, let's just make it him. And he's like, okay, I'm up, some type of thing. But I thought, how would you know that it's him? So I thought, okay, we put that's where I come in with let's do the costume this way. We'll put some recognizable marks. And we'll even write Max Alt. It sounds like whatever, but, on his chest. So it's like, if you pick that up, you might not, this is the same guy, and it's kind of nice if you don't know if it's the same guy. But anyway, so I probably had a bit of a Kankiki guy voice in there, but what can I fucking say? What a pain in the ass now to draw the. See, if it was up to me, I'd kind of leave it like that with the press conference or the swarm of paparazzi, and you could argue that it's also impressionistic or expressionistic or whatever that it could almost reflect the point of view of Captain Tyre or Captain Kyra, where it's like it's more about the flashes and the cameras than the people. And I'm afraid that with my lack of skills as an illustrator and my lazy approach, it's going to be a delicate trick to do them. I could have done it. The people, the news people, with the cameras and the microphones. I thought I could do just one of those total black silhouettes where you can see their heads and shoulders. But I got so much black with the cameras and that would be a problem. So maybe I could do a white silhouette, or I'd have to somehow draw all the faces of the reporters in there. We'll have to figure that out. And I sorry talking so fucking fast and with that dorky voice. I'm still not sure where I'm gonna put this. If I continue this, if I or even just post the one, I'm not sure where I'm gonna post it. So maybe look for a link below in the video.